I'm Jay Johnston. I'm my official title is Winemaker for Flat Rock Cellars here in Jordan, Ontario. But the term winemaker to me probably isn't accurate, and I think it's not clear in what we do. I think more of a wine caregiver. We are stewards to the fruit that comes into the winery, as opposed to that term winemaker. It just doesn't seem to capture what we do. It actually happened, I was in my 30s when I started. I went back to school at 31 to Niagara College and took their 2-year viticulture and winemaking technician program. There are other opportunities for education within the field of wine growing. That was my choice because I was a mature student and I only wanted to give up 2 years of a career to go back to school. So it was more of a passion for wine, really. And prior to that, I'd worked for a software company and spent 4 years basically chained to a desk and shuffling thousands of emails every day. So for me, I wanted to move into something more tactical and create something and craft something. And to me, wine is a wonderful balance of art, science, and there's a lot of room for creativity, but also there's a technical aspect to the winemaking. I would say you need to have a long-term vision. Coming from software, I was really used to quick cycles. Like we had a new world every 6 weeks. In wine growing, 6 weeks is a very short period. So you have to get used to these annual cycles. And then you look at 3, 4, 5-year planning and where the business is going, because we can't move the meter that quickly in the farm. I mean, we're waiting for that fruit to grow. It takes 8 months for it to grow. And then, we have an off season, and then we need to be patient. And that, for me, was the biggest challenge, is being patient. There's a lot of opportunities if you start at a winery. I mean, we have people who work in sales and marketing. After starting within a technical stream, they find a passion for selling wine and promoting wine. People get into more technical jobs such as lab work, and there's also a big movement towards more academic pursuits. Because our region is fairly young still, there are not as many PhD candidates in Niagara who can then share that research with the people who are actually making the wines. Go out to wineries and see what it's all about. I remember my first day in a vineyard. I was 30 years old, had never worked in a vineyard before, and I looked down, I had these brand new shiny boots on. I said, well, I better get these boots dirty before I go out my first day, because these guys are gonna know I've never worked in a vineyard. So I think you really need to get out there, see the vineyards, talk to the winemakers, talk to the viticulturists, the farm managers, talk to the guys in the sales and marketing end, because they see the reality of our business. Our business is extremely difficult because it's essentially a regulated substance. Wine is regulated by the government of Canada and Ontario. And so we have very tight margins in our business. So just really learning the business aspect of it. So then when you do get a job, whether it's in production or sales or in the vineyard, you have a clear sense of the direction of the business and why it is so challenging. There's global ambassadors for large brands in the wine business, and they basically spend 200 to 300 days a year traveling around the world promoting their wines. These are some of the top iconic chateaus or domains from around the world. I think to be in their shoes for a week selling wine in Hong Kong or in London or in South America, I think that would be pretty exciting. Yeah. It's a quote from, I support a certain football team, and their quote is Victoria Concordia Crescit, and it's a Latin phrase that means victory through harmony. And that's, I have that on my email tagline, because I think that's a nice way of wrapping up, like, if we all work together, we'll all be successful.